The doorbell rang at 8:17 on a Friday night. Tom Harrington opened the door to find Eleanor Beaumont, CEO of Beaumont Enterprises, commander of a multi-billion-pound empire, standing in the pouring rain. Mascara streaked down her cheeks. Her tailored coat clung to her like a second skin. She looked at him with red-rimmed eyes and whispered, soft, trembling, "I accepted your resignation, Tom. But I won't accept losing you from my life." What could drive the most powerful woman in the industry to show up at a single dad's doorstep, begging him to stay? Gentle music swell, time shift back. 3 weeks earlier, Tom sat in his small home office, staring at a screen full of faces he barely recognized anymore. The video call had dragged on for 2 hours. 14 executives argued over merger details, while Tom handled the technical side from his modest flat in North London. His fingers flew across the keyboard, spotting issues before they became disasters. That was his gift. A soft rustle behind him. He didn't turn. Reginald Hargrove, one of the oldest board members, was mid-rant. Stern, clipped. "Harrington, these integration costs look rather complicated. Are you quite sure you grasp the implications?" Tom felt the familiar knot in his chest. Reg never questioned David from finance like that. Never grilled Maria from legal. But some fights weren't worth having on a conference call. Calm, measured. The projections allow for a 12% variance in overlap, Reg. Page 47 breaks it all down. Happy to walk you through it after, if you like. Reg's face flickered. Then he moved on. Across the screen, Eleanor watched in silence. Her fingers froze mid-type. Tom didn't notice. His eyes had dropped to the piece of paper on his desk. A crayon drawing. A stick figure man at a computer. Huge blue eyes. Dark lines underneath like exhaustion or tears. At the bottom, in wobbly 7-year-old writing, "Daddy looks tired." Lily stood in the doorway, clutching her favorite stuffed rabbit. She didn't speak. She never did when he was working. She just watched with those big brown eyes that saw everything. Tom forced a smile. Mouthed, "Thank you, sweetheart." She nodded solemnly and padded back to her room. He turned back to the meeting, but his gaze kept drifting to the drawing. This was how they talked now. Pictures instead of words. It started after her mum died, when Lily went quiet for nearly 3 months. The therapist said it was normal. Drawing became her voice. Every night she'd bring him a picture, and he'd sit beside her, reading each crayon line like scripture. He treasured those moments. They were getting rarer. The merger with Vanguard Solutions had swallowed everything. 14-hour days. Weekend calls. Emergency meetings that stole dinners. Bedtime stories. The little routines that kept their tiny family glued together. Then Lily fell ill. A cough that wouldn't shift. Tom told himself it was just a cold. He could juggle the deal and a poorly child. He was wrong. The call came during a strategy session with Eleanor's top team. Daycare's number flashed on his phone. His stomach dropped. "Urgent. Mr. Harrington, you need to come now." Lily's struggling to breathe. He made it to the hospital in 11 minutes flat. Pneumonia. Severe. 4 antibiotics. Monitors. Tom stood in the corridor, still wearing his work lanyard, watching his little girl vanish behind double doors. For a week he lived in 2 worlds. Days by her bed, holding her tiny hand while she slept. Nights When the ward quieted, he'd open his laptop in the family bathroom, whispering through emails and calls. One night, around 2 a.m., Lily stirred. Tom was mid-email to Eleanor about supply chain snags. Her eyes fluttered open. She looked at him, really looked. "Daddy. Horse, small. When can I come home and be with you all day? Like Emma's daddy. He picks her up from school every day." Tom closed the laptop. "Soon, love. Daddy's just got to finish some important bits." She turned to the window. "You always say that." She drifted off before he could answer. He sat there ages, watching her chest rise and fall. Laptop forgotten. Back at head office, Eleanor noticed first the slight delay before he unmuted, the deepening shadows under his eyes, the camera angle shifting, no longer his tidy office, but harsh hospital lighting. She could have pulled him up. Enforced policy. Demanded full focus. Instead, she started shielding him. Deadlines quietly rerouted. Meetings rescheduled to phantom time zones. When a mid-level manager, Brad, muttered something about risks of hiring people with complicated home lives, Eleanor had him in her office by tea time. Brad cleared his desk by 5. No one asked why. The late-night calls began as pure work. Integration questions. System migrations. Vendor contracts. He always picked up. But slowly. They changed. Soft, concerned. "You should be sleeping, Tom." It was past 11. She could hear hospital beeps through the line. "So should you. I own the company. I'm allowed. And I'm trying to stop your company collapsing during the biggest deal in its history. I'm allowed too." She actually smiled. No one spoke to her like that. "How's she doing, your daughter?" The question surprised them both. Quiet pause. "Better. Fever broke yesterday. They reckon she can come home by the weekend if she stays stable." "That's brilliant, Tom. Really brilliant." He didn't correct the first name. In the background, a tiny voice. "Daddy, who you talking to?" His tone softened instantly. "Just a mate, Poppet. Back to sleep now." "Okay. Love you, Daddy." "Love you too, Lilybug." The line went quiet. Eleanor realized she was still smiling. Lily came home 5 days later. Tom took a week's leave. 7 perfect days. Animal-shaped pancakes. Cartoons till noon. Slow walks round the block. Her hand in his. Rabbit tucked under her arm. But the merger wouldn't wait. Calls crept back. Emails piled up. A few minutes on the laptop became hours. The near miss happened on a Tuesday. Emergency call with Vanguard. Babysitter, Megan, uni student, glowing references, supposedly watching Lily. Phone buzzed. Neighbor, Mrs. Wilkins. "Tom, don't panic. But Lily's out on your fire escape. 3rd floor. Looks like she's waiting for someone." He was out of his chair. Didn't mute. Just ran. Found her perched on the narrow platform. Legs dangling. Megan nowhere. Lily. Voice cracking. "What are you doing out here, love?" She looked up with those knowing eyes. "I wanted to watch for you, Daddy. Sometimes you come home this way. Wanted to see you first." He pulled her inside. Hands shaking. Held her so tight she squeaked. "Daddy, you're squishing me." "I know, sweetheart. Just let me squish you a minute." That night, after Megan was sacked. Extra stories. 3 goodnight kisses. Tom sat in the dark lounge. On the coffee table. Her latest drawing. A purple and pink house. 2 figures inside. Lily, small, curly hair, huge smile. The other. Meant to be him. But outside the window. A shadowy figure looking in. Like a ghost. Like someone who no longer belonged. He stared until his eyes burned. Thought about the merger. Eleanor. 15 years of early starts. Late finishes. Sacrifices he couldn't count. Then Lily's voice. Small and hopeful. I wanted to see you first. The decision came quietly. Like a door finally shutting. Next morning. He emailed his resignation. 2 lines. Immediate effect. No explanation. He didn't say goodbye to Eleanor. Couldn't. Because goodbye would mean naming the thing growing inside him. The lift in his chest when her name lit up his phone. The mad hope that in another life. Maybe. But this was the only life he had. And his daughter needed him present. Whole. So he walked away. Told himself it was right. The only choice. Almost believed it. Emotional swell. The first week without Tom was the longest of Eleanor's life. She buried herself in work. In before dawn. Out after midnight. Assistants avoided her eyes. Directors cancelled meetings rather than face her. The woman who'd always been formidable became a storm in a tailored suit. No one understood. The merger closed. Shares up. Metrics golden. But every night, she stared at her phone, waiting for a call that never came. Meanwhile, across the city, Tom was learning to breathe again. First morning. No alarm. Sunlight through the curtains at a civilized hour. He lay listening. Fridge hum. Distant traffic. Lily down the hall. Singing softly to her rabbit. He made proper breakfast. Scrambled eggs. Toast in triangles. Orange juice in her favorite purple cup. They ate at the tiny kitchen table. When she asked for seconds, he said yes. Without checking his diary. Days found a rhythm. School walks. Park afternoons. Evenings of coloring. Cartoons. Being there. He taught her spaghetti. She taught him the names of 27 imaginary friends in her wardrobe. But nights were harder. After she slept, he'd sit by the window. City lights twinkling. Thought of Eleanor. Her laugh on late calls. The way she said his name. The spark in corridors. He'd left it all. Right decision. He repeated it like a mantra. 2 weeks in. Lily handed him a drawing at breakfast. 2 stick figures in a house. Her, curly hair. Him, tall. But his mouth straight. Eyes down. Daddy. Quiet. Why don't you smile anymore? What do you mean, love? I smile loads. She shook her head. Your mouth smiles. But your eyes don't. Like when you worked all the time. She pointed. See? I drew you how you really look. He pulled her onto his lap. I'm just settling into our new life, sweetheart. Dad is all right. Do you miss your friend? The one you talk to at night? His heart clenched. He'd never mentioned Eleanor. But Lily noticed everything. Sometimes. Soft. Maybe you should ring her. I don't like when Daddy's eyes are sad. That Friday, rain started at 7. Tom finished Lily's bedtime story. The Princess Who Saved Herself. Doorbell. 8:17. Odd time for visitors. He opened it. Eleanor Beaumont. Soaked. Shivering. Mascara rivers. Nothing like the boardroom commander. She looked human. Broken. Bare whisper. I accepted your resignation, Tom. But I won't accept losing you from my life. He froze. Then stepped aside. She entered like stepping into another country. Eyes on the worn sofa. Crayon art on the fridge. Tiny trainers by the door. A world of warmth. Love in every corner. You need to get dry. I'll fetch towels. He vanished down the hall. Grateful for the moment. When he returned, she stood at the fridge, studying the drawings. She's talented. These are beautiful. He handed her a towel. She uses them to talk. Ever since her mum passed. Eleanor looked at him. Uncertain for the first time. I'm sorry for turning up like this. I know it's out of order. I know I've no right. But I couldn't. She pressed her lips. I run a £2 billion company. I negotiate with governments. Kill takeovers. Decisions affecting thousands. But I couldn't just pick up the phone and ring you. Why not? Because I was scared. Scared you'd say no. Scared I'd imagined it all. Scared the only man who's ever made me feel like a person. Not a title. Would tell me to sod off back to my ivory tower. Tom set the towel down. You didn't imagine it. They stood. Two people. Opposite sides of a bridge. Neither quite ready to cross. A small voice. Daddy? Lily in the doorway. Rabbit clutched. Eyes wide at the stranger. Eleanor stiffened. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's all right. Tom knelt. Lily. This is Daddy's friend. The one you asked about. Lily studied her. Then walked over. Stopped at the coffee table. Her latest drawing. The sad-eyed dad. But now a third figure outside the window. Woman with long dark hair. Is that me? Eleanor asked. Couldn't help it. Lily nodded. I saw Daddy looking at his phone sometimes. He makes this face when he reads your messages. She demonstrated. Lips pressed. Hope and hurt mixed. So I added you. Didn't know where to put you. Eleanor knelt. That's a cracking drawing. You're quite the artist. Daddy says. I draw what I feel. Not just what I see. Lily tilted her head. You've got sad eyes too. Like Daddy. Something cracked in Eleanor's face. Maybe I do. Are you staying? Lily asked. Daddy smiles more when he talks about you. Tom stepped in. Lily, bedtime. Let her finish. Eleanor never took her eyes off the girl. Are you all right with me here? In your home? Lily thought. Serious as a judge. Then reached out. Took Eleanor's hand. You should stay. Maybe you and Daddy can help each other's eyes be less sad. Quick squeeze. Then padded off. The silence felt warmer. Eleanor stood. Wiped her eyes. She's remarkable. She's everything. They talked till nearly midnight. Eleanor told him her plan. A new program, Family First. Flexible hours for parents. On-site nursery. Proper family leave. A company that valued people. I want you to lead it. Not coming back as an employee. As a partner. Building something that matters. Tom shook his head. You're asking me back to a world that nearly broke us. I'm asking you to help me fix it. She took his hand. I know what Beaumont cost you. I know what I cost you. But what if we could make it different? Prove success and decency aren't opposites. He glanced toward Lily's room. And us? I don't know. For once. No easy answers. I just know I can't picture my life without you in it. Whatever that means. Wherever it goes. I'm in. If you are. He said yes. Against every sensible thought. He said yes. Within days. It imploded. Someone snapped Eleanor leaving his building that rainy night. Photo spread through internal chat like wildfire. By Monday, Reg Hargrove called emergency board meeting. Accusations flew. Unprofessional conduct. Favoritism. Abuse of power. Reg delivered each like a judge. But the email broke Tom. Leaked from Reg's account. One paragraph. We must consider whether the company's image aligns with our CEO's apparent choices. Her relationship with an employee of a certain background raises questions about judgment. Background bolded. Tom read it 3 times. Cold settled in his chest. 15 years proving himself. Twice over. Reduced to a euphemism. Then the photo of Lily. Outside school. Waiting for him. Caption, Daddy's little advantage. Beaumont's special project. His 7-year-old. Weaponized. That night. Lily asked the question that shattered him. Daddy. Did I do something wrong? Kids at school looked at me funny today. He held her tight. Anger and grief warring. No, love. Never. Not ever. He decided before she slept. Next morning. He packed bags. Told Lily an adventure. Beaches. Trees. Fresh air. Far from Beaumont. Eleanor. The poison. She didn't argue. Went to her room. Came back with a drawing. 3 figures. Hand in hand. In front of a flower-covered house. At the bottom. My home. Tom stared. His daughter had chosen. But he couldn't let her pay for his life. Couldn't let Eleanor's empire fall because of him. He loved them both too much. He wrote her a letter. 3 lines. Hardest ever. I can't be why you lose everything. I love you enough to go. Please don't look for us. Then he buckled Lily in. And drove away from the only woman who'd ever made him feel complete. Eleanor found the letter at 6 a.m. Some instinct pulled her there before dawn. Door unlocked. Flat silent. On the counter. Cold coffee. 3 sentences that stopped her heart. She read them over. And over. Then saw the drawing. Lilies. 3 figures. Flowers. My home. A 7-year-old had drawn her in. Claimed her. Now gone. Taken by a dad who thought love meant sacrifice. She folded it carefully. Pocketed it. Drove to head office. To face the end. Boardroom full. 12 faces. Some sympathetic. Most blank. Reg at the head. Folder open. Smug. Ms. Beaumont. So glad you could join. We were just starting. She Saturday. Felt the drawing press against her hip. Reg began. unprofessional conduct, conflicts, favoritism. 20 minutes of prosecution. She listened, composing her resignation in her head. She'd step down. Let them win. Then find Tom. Tell him no company was worth him. She reached for her pen. Door burst open. Tom Harrington. Breathless. Shirt wrinkled. Eyes red. Behind him. Lily. Rabbit clutched. Silence. Reg recovered. Mr. Harrington. Closed session. You have no. I have every right. Tom walked forward. Lily's hand tight in his. You made this about me. My family. My background. Word hung like smoke. So I'm here to answer. They'd been driving an hour when Lily spoke. Daddy. Can I ask something? Of course, love. If someone was mean to me at school, would you run away? The question hit hard. What do you mean? You always say, when people are mean, don't run. Stand up. She hugged the rabbit. But that's what we are doing. Running. His knuckles whitened on the wheel. No answer. I liked Eleanor. She had sad eyes like you. But she smiled at your drawings on the fridge. Like they were special. Pause. Are we leaving because of me? Because they were mean about my picture? No, Poppet. Not your fault. None of it. Then why are we running? He pulled over. Stared at the road. Then turned. You're right. Absolutely right. He turned the car around. Now. In the boardroom. Facing them down. Family First hasn't officially launched. But in the 3-week pilot. Turnover among parents with young kids dropped 34%. He set a folder down. Beaumont spends $2.3 million a year. Recruiting and training replacements. Most leave because they can't balance work and family. What I'm suggesting isn't just decent. It's smart business. Reg scoffed. Pretty figures from a man with an agenda. My agenda is my daughter. He looked at Lily. Then the board. I spent years sacrificing her childhood for this place. Missed her first steps. On a call. Nearly lost her. Too busy closing deals to notice she needed me. That's not agenda. That's confession. He turned to Eleanor. The woman you're trying to tear down is the only leader I've known who saw the old way was broken. And was brave enough to fix it. She's not weak for caring. She's strong. Margaret Collins. Longest-serving board member. Leaned forward. Silent till now. Mr. Harrington. Compelling case. But the question is judgment. Personal entanglement. Tom met her eyes. 3 years ago. When Ms. Beaumont took over. We were 6 months from administration. Previous lot had made catastrophic calls. Who rebuilt the systems that saved us? Silence. Me? Quiet. Firm. 4 months. Ground up. Asked her to keep it quiet. Didn't want fuss. Just wanted to do the job. Go home to my girl. He looked at Eleanor. Tears on her face. She didn't promote me. Didn't acknowledge it publicly. Because I asked not to. That's not compromise. That's respect. Eleanor stood. Wiped her eyes. Pulled 2 folders. This is Tom's contribution over 5 years. Every system. Every crisis averted. Every innovation. No credit sought. Second folder. And this. Internal emails from Mr. Hargrove. Discriminatory language. Race. Gender. Family status. Anyone opens us to serious liability. Rake paled. Those were private. Sent on company servers. Company property. Evidence. Margaret took the second folder. Read. Face darkened. Reginald. Did you write suggesting Mr. Harrington's background made him unsuitable for leadership? That was out of context. Did you authorize photos of his 7-year-old? Posted internally. Mocking caption. Silence. Margaret closed it. I've 40 years in this game. Seen every scandal. Power play. Ugliness. First time I've seen a CEO risk it all. For what she believes is right. To Reg. And first time a board member attacks a child to win. She stood. I move we dismiss all charges against Ms. Beaumont. And request Mr. Hargrove's immediate resignation. Vote. 7-4. 2 against. Reg escorted out before lunch. 1 month later. Tom sat on a hillside. Wildflowers. Watching Lily draw. The motorbike trip was her idea. Old bike in the garage. He'd tinkered for years. Finished it after the board meeting. 2 weeks. On the road. Eleanor joined day 3. Hiking boots. Flannel shirt. Nothing like the CEO. Lily ran to her. Dragged her to show new drawings. Now 3 of them. Late sun warm. Lily concentrated. Tongue out. What you drawing, sweetheart? Eleanor asked. Lily held it up. 3 figures. Hand in hand. Smiling. Proper smiles. Bright. Joyful. It's us. Simple. But this time, I could draw Daddy's smile. Because now I know what it looks like. Eleanor looked at Tom. Eyes shining. He took her hand. Interlaced fingers. You know. I spent my life thinking success was climbing. Building. Proving myself to people who'd never see me as enough. Squeeze? But you showed me. Real legacy isn't what we build. It's who we love while building it. She leaned on his shoulder. Thank you. For not staying gone. Lily looked up. Daddy. Can Eleanor come on all our adventures now? Tom smiled. Real smile. Eyes lit. Whole face. I reckon that's the plan, Lilybug. She nodded. Satisfied. Added one last detail. Small house in the background. Flowers everywhere. Across the door. In crayon. Home. Not a building. Not a company. Not a title or salary or corner office. Just 3 people. Who found each other. Against every odd. And chose to stay.